What's up, everybody? We're back with another How to the Bots Academy video. This time we're going to be going over using the Metasploit framework module on How to the Bots Academy. For those that don't know what Metasploit is, it is an open source set of tools used for network enumeration, attacks, testing, security vulnerabilities, evading detection, performing privilege escalation attacks, and performing post exploitation. Now, I do have a little bit of experience with the Metasploit framework. It was pretty fun. I did it for my certified ethical hacking class that I took at school. I didn't get to dive too much into it, but I got to utilize it a little bit, and you can like type in like you get to type in like information that you're looking for based on like devices. You can look based on devices, and it brings back like vulnerabilities that they have. It's pretty cool, actually. I don't know if I'm explaining that entirely correctly, but I remember it kind of being like a database that you can search for certain information through devices that you have and find exploits that have been publicly posted, and utilize it to like hack your stuff ethically, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into this. The summary is going to talk about a preface about using tools, an overview of the Metasploit framework, Metasploit module types, setting targets and payloads, pivoting between sessions and jobs, importing new modules, creating a custom payload, creating a custom module, and using Meterpreter and Kiwi. I don't know about any of like half of this, so it's going to be fun to go through and learn this all. I just remember doing a very brief introduction like project to using that Metasploit framework. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to read through all this stuff. It seems like we've got questions starting right about here at the module section. So what we're going to do is we'll read through all this and then we'll be back to answer some questions. Okay, we're back. We read through all of this as best as we could. I ate a bunch of noodles and I'm falling asleep. But what basically this is talking about is it's going through the Metasploit framework. It talks about use of automated tools versus manual working of things. Like automated tools providing you with obviously a quicker means of doing things, but it also kind of gives you a crutch because it's like, oh, if the tool can't do it, then that means it can't be done. And also talks about how it could be a hindrance from people from learning new skills, which I could kind of understand. Also, it talks about how the use of tools like this can potentially pose a security risk, as it's available online. But my thing that I think I agree with the most is that it would just prevent you from wanting to learn new skills. You just know that there's a tool that can do what you need to do instead of learning how to do it yourself. So I can kind of see that. So let's see, which version of Metasploit comes equipped with a GUI interface? That is Pro, I believe, right? What command do you use to interact with the free version of Metasploit? Well, the free version is right here, Metasploit framework. Is it just MSF console? I know that's how you... Oh, that was it. I must have been overthinking that one because I know it's MSF console to like activate it, but anyways. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do instead is we're going to like go through this live kind of. Like I'm gonna read a little bit, and then we're gonna go through the commands here in the virtual terminal that it has set up. That way it's not just read, do questions, read, do questions. Maybe we can go through some of this live and maybe better understand some of it. So talks about loading MSF console using the MSF console command, and it gives you this cool banner. It's a different one each time. I think I've said before, which is pretty cool. Or you can alternatively do, I'm assuming, MSF console -Q, which does not display a banner, which I don't know why you'd want to do. because the banner is fun. So let's see. Starting, and there we go. We have a banner. So let's exit and let's do MSF console -Q. Still loads. Yep, it loads. It doesn't give any of like the preload notification stuff, and then it just goes right into that, which again, I don't know why you'd want. I like to have the banner. What is that? It's so cool. So okay, so MSF console -Q displays without banner. Okay, so here it's talking about seeing the available commands with the help command, but you need to make sure tools need to be sharp. You gotta update the MSF console. Apparently you used to be able to do MSF update, but now I guess you can do a sudo apt-get update /install for the Metasploit framework. So let's, here, I'll let you order that. I'm terrible about switching things back and forth, but yeah, here it's showing that we used to do MSF update, and now for updates, it's the sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get install Metasploit frameworks. Okay, so we're gonna read through this. I spent the last like 5 minutes reading, and it wasn't even on the right screen, which is great. But we're gonna go ahead and read through this. And when the next like demo thing comes up, we'll go back to the virtual machine screen. Okay, so the rest of this just talks about like the enumeration process, scanning for devices, finding what versions they're on. If they're on vulnerable or outdated service versions, it could be something that you could potentially find a vulnerability or find an exploit for in the Metasploit framework. That's one of the things that's important about making sure all your devices are updated. Because as soon as those patches go out, like those patch notes you get on your phone or whatever, then all of that information, that exploit information, is now public. So it's very important when you get those device updates to do your updates, because now unethical individuals now know what those exploits are. And if you take a minute to upload the next service version, you run the risk of your device or product being vulnerable to unethical people. The weird dude PSA. But yeah, it talks about other stuff in here. The engagement structure of enumeration, preparation, exploitation, privilege escalation, and post exploitation. So basically what it's talking about is learning about your device that you're going to be hacking, exploiting it through whatever exploits you're able to find. Obviously the main thing to establish when you're in a device is root, so you want to get that privilege exploitation or privilege escalation. And then post exploitation is any cleanup and covering your tracks and all that fun stuff. And then it just goes into further bracketing of more information here. So talking about like service validation, passive scanning, OSINT stuff, or interacting with services legitimately. It's a whole bunch of stuff here. Whole bunch of fun stuff. And I'm logged out because I was away from my computer too long. Okay, so this one's a bit longer of a read, so I might actually go and come back for this one. So as soon as I finish reading, I'll come back and we'll answer the question at the bottom. Okay, so we got down to this part here, the search function for MSF console. We went through and it talked a little bit about the breakdown of the syntax of exploits. So like you'll have the exploit Windows FTP script FTP _ list. It is the number. So here's the number, the exploit number, and then it'll be a type, and then it'll be with the OS of it, and then it'll be the service type, so FTP or whatever, and then the name of the exploit itself. So down here, for example, with searching for modules, I haven't read into this yet, but it offers, let's see, with the help of this function we can quickly search through all the modules using specific tags to find a suitable one for our target. So we come down here, for example, we can try to find the Eternal Romance exploit for older Windows operating systems. This should look something like this. So search Eternal Romance. Okay, so that's actually the question down at the bottom. I don't know if it's exactly like that, but it does mention Eternal Romance. So let's go ahead and see if we can find it. The flag 2020. Capture the flag 2020. That's funny. All right. So let's see. Search. See what comes up. So we got 2 hits that came up. So judging from the layout of the link itself, here's the number. Here is the type. So this one up here is an exploit. This one's auxiliary, which according to the thing, auxiliary is like scanning, fuzzing, sniffing, and admin capabilities. It offers extra assistance and functionality. So just in case you needed to know. Windows, this is like admin. SMB, so SMB, I'll tell you something funny about SMB. SMB means something else at work for me. So, but with SMB actually it's what is it? Trying to pull from memory without looking. Server message blocks. I had to look. Sir, I just ran into server message blocks for doing my Network Plus stuff. I believe they went over SMB. That kind of sounds familiar. So yeah. Oh god, server message board, I think, right? SMB block. Oh. Okay, so SMB server message block. I forgot it like as soon as I closed the window. Server message block, server message block, server message block, server message block. Okay, so SMB, these are both SMB, and then MS. This is just what it's called, MS170110. But yeah, these are the 2 results from the Eternal Romance. All right, so scrolling down back to where we were. For example, we can try to find the Eternal Romance exploit for older Windows. Okay. Yeah, and this is what we get here. So now, going back to this screen, if we wanted to narrow it down more, and then we could type. So I guess by typing it like this, you can narrow it down. So maybe, for example, if we did search Eternal Romance and did, so we did type, what did we do? Type exploit. So if we did like OS, yep, that pulls up just the Windows one and not the admin one. So that's cool. You can do it like that. We can also make our search a bit more coarse and reduce it to one category of sources. For example, for the CVE, we could specify. We just specify the year and the platform. We kind of did. We did OS, Windows. Type of module we want to find, and reliability range. MSF specific search. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna have us do this way now with the super long command. So search, type, exploit, platform, Windows. It's interesting though, like, I don't know if maybe they'll cover it or if I'm just missing something, but it's interesting that we could search OS Windows. And this one is having us search platform Windows. Is that platform? The platform. Maybe we can do both. We can make our search a bit more coarse. For example, CVE, we can specify the year, CVE here. the platform, Windows platform. Interesting. So now, sorry, I got distracted. CVE, and then rank. No results from search. So it gave results in the thing. So did we mess something up? Search type, Metasploit, platform, Windows, CVE 2021, rank. I just want Microsoft. Why are we not doing it? Let's copy and paste it and see. Maybe we messed something up. Search type, Metasploit platform. Oh, there's no space there. I put a space in my first command. Interesting. It's that affinity, so watch your spaces. Okay, so we got the same commands as listed in the screenshot, or not in the screenshot. What am I talking about? In the example here. Module selection. To select our first module, we need to find one. Let's suppose that we have a target running a version of SMB vulnerable to Eternal Romance exploits. We have found that server 4445 is open upon scanning the target. Okay, well, we don't have a target open yet. I mean, I guess we could make one. Just made one. Okay, so first we got to find out some information about our machine. So, maybe I just didn't like that -A. Was too aggressive. Some of these things are a little sensitive with the aggressive scans. So let's see, maybe SCSV will work. Okay, I did. So Microsoft port 80. So we got HTTP server, Microsoft IIS, HTTPD. Potentially risky methods trace. Okay, so interesting. Let's go back to this and see. See, this got a bunch of. Did I get all that? 135, 139, 445. Yeah, I did. 139, 139, 445. Didn't get all of this 49152 though. That's interesting. You didn't say the magic word. Alright, so search, what was it? MS17 underscores. So Tonal Romance, SMB. So they're all SMB. Here's 2 exploits, here's 2 auxiliaries. So using module show. You can use the show options to command everything required to be set before the exploitation can occur. We'll have a yes under the required column. So I vaguely remember this. We have to show, we can see additional information. So like show 0, is that how it was? No, show, what's the syntax for it? Show, oh, maybe it was just show options. Yeah. Show options. I remember seeing this showing information about it, available targets, all sorts of fun information in here. Also known as Eternal Blue. There's a game I remember playing on the computer. I can't remember what it was called. It was like a hacking game though, and there was Eternal Blue in it. But I thought there was something else. I could be wrong entirely. It's not impossible. now set our host. What was the IP address that we had here? We still have it copied? No. I wasn't even on the others. Reading through all the other stuff and y'all couldn't even see it. I apologize. But now we're gonna start it over. We're gonna close this terminal. Yeah, close terminal. I know I'm on the wrong screen again. And all right, so we got the new machine. Use the Metasploit framework to exploit the target with Eternal Romance. Find the flag.text file on the administrator's desktop and submit the contents as the answer. Okay, this is editing mode, weird dude. Over the course of this clip, I'm going through a lot of different techniques that I can think of to try and get this to work. I'm even like doing like netcat and listening on ports, and I have no idea what's going on to why it's not working. Every time I start the module, the attack on the IP address, it just keeps looping, keeps going over and over and over again, and then finally realize that I'm using the wrong module. I'm using Eternal Blue instead of the Eternal Romance one, which I'm gonna realize here as soon as I'm done with this voiceover. So I'm sorry this part took so long. Sorry if I sound tired, it's late, but yeah, spent entirely too long time trying to figure that out and didn't realize it until had to be about 20-30 minutes before I finally realized what was going on. So I'm about to see the mistake that I've been making. Oh, that's so frustrating. I was using the wrong command the entire time and wasted so much time. Unknown command, who am I? Okay, so we're back after letting my workstation run out, and we lost the whole session. It's like things couldn't get worse. So all right, but we have it now. We got in to the session before, so now we can hopefully get in without issues. Now that we know that we're looking for Eternal Romance and not Eternal Blue, can we just operate it without having to go into shell? CD. Oh, maybe we can. CD users, CD desktop. Yeah. There it is. I don't know why I thought that I had to go into shell. I just thought it was like a very crude, like when that first command didn't work, I wasn't quite sure if I had to go into a shell or what. Well, let's see. That should be it, obviously, because the flag. Okay. My God, that took forever, and it was both my fault. I should have been paying attention, but that's how easy it is. I would assume to get distracted in what you're doing. I lost so much time, and if I was in a situation where I was, doing this for like pen testing or whatever, that would have cost time for sure. So let's go mark that complete, and let's go to the next. Okay, so we're back. Read through as much of this as we could. There's so much here, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. My sinuses have been completely jacked up, blowing my nose like crazy. So I could not focus enough to read through all of this. I have a good idea of what's going on in it. But there's so much here. There's so much here. It seems to be, it does talk about the 3 payload modules, or 3 types rather: singles, stagers, and stages. Singles contain the exploit and the entire shell code. Stagers work with the stage payloads to perform a specific task, and stages the payload components that are downloaded by the stagers modules. It talks about stage payloads and all sorts of other stuff. Like I said, I tried. I got to about here and I was blowing my nose every 2-3 minutes. So one of these days I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna read all this so I can have a better understanding of what's going on. But thankfully the question is kinda easy. Exploit the Apache Druid service and find the flag.txt file, submit the contents of the file as the answer. So let's see what we can do. Perfect. Okay, so root druid. Let's see. There's no flag. So let's go back a step and see if there's anything on root. Which there is. And there is our flag. Copy. Let's go back over here. And boom. Oh yeah, so that must have just been either... I'm pretty sure I did all the same steps. So I don't know if I just needed a reset just from not being logged in or what. Okay, so we read through this as much as I could. There's a lot of information in this module. And I was not expecting it. So it was more so a skim through a lot of this information than it was actually retaining, which is fine. We're just gonna have to come back to it later. So it talks about what's the last thing I mentioned? Might have been this one. It talks about setting up databases using this post GRE SQL. So you can like do scans inside of the MSF console and then like export results. You can export tables. You can store like credentials and hosts and all sorts of tools. Yeah, here's all the things: database connect, disconnect, export, import, nmap, do nmap scans within MSF console using this database nmap command. Hosts, you can see all the hosts that you found, any loot that you put in there, services, vulnerabilities. It's actually pretty cool. Like I kind of enjoyed looking through this and testing out a little bit. I didn't go full into detail as far as looking into it, but it's kind of cool, like being an MSF console, and as far as I know, not having to have like a separate terminal open for doing like nmap scans. All your information can be saved right inside the MSF console database, which is cool. So yeah, what you can do is you can come in here into Metasploit and then load these plugins from the Metasploit system. So like load Nessus, for example. You can load that and then you can do Nessus store help, and you can see all the commands and stuff that you can run inside of Nessus while inside the MSF console. So it's actually pretty cool. It's cool feature, if you will. Talks about installing new plugins. You can copy plugins like just right into the folder. Yeah. And just copy it right in there using this command string. Mixins. Sessions. This kind of confused me because it didn't work for me. When I had the session open, like let me try it. Let's see. Yeah, sessions. Yeah, see, there's nothing there. I must be missing something. Exploit, because if you look at the command, I mean, I have mine the same almost as that one. Active sessions, interpreter, information, connection. Oh wait, maybe I gotta be connected. See, when I did it last time though, even when I was connected, I went to another terminal and logged in and did sessions, and it still didn't show anything. So I gotta look into that one too. That one kind of threw me off a bit. But yeah, then there was just a bunch of other cool stuff. Running an exploit background. I didn't honestly. I'll be honest. I didn't look into jobs and these just because I was so tired last night. So well, let's go ahead. I got one already, but I'm gonna pull it up again. I entered this on accident last night as I was like looking into how a lot of these commands worked. I typed it in without even thinking that I wasn't recording. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this again. That way we can kind of re-get that answer. So let's do it. Seeing what's cool, when we get this scan back, we can pull up, I think it's the host command, and we can see all of the information there that it puts in. See, there's the address. So it's seeing that IP address that we put in. Linux, it's a server. One of them shows ports too, I believe, like ports that returned. Was it services? Yes, it was services. So this shows the open ports as well. So there's SSH 22 and then port 80, which is the one we're gonna search. So what we can do is then pull up Chrome. Oh, we don't need to. It's right there. Finder right there. It says in here to search the HTML source code, but in this case you don't have to, but we can do it anyway. So yeah, if you come in here into the page source, you can see Finder. Yeah, so Finder 2.1, there was another spot that showed it. Oh wait, so yeah, a couple of different locations here. So the next question, this one we did not search. Find the existing exploit in the MSF and use it to get a shell onto the target. What is the username of the user you obtained a shell with? Okay, so I just realized I was not recording on the right screen. That's the most annoying thing about recording on two different screens. So I don't even know, did we set up was that even on the right screen when we set up? Probably not. Let's just start over. All right, so let me just exit. I'm gonna just get clear out. And if you already saw this, I'm so sorry. Was I even on the right screen for the others? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Search Finder. All right, let's try this again. Are we on the right screen this time? We are. Perfect. All right, so before I didn't know what command to use because who am I doesn't work. So I had to look up alternatives to who am I, and the only two I found were log name, log name, and get UID. Okay, so get UID works. So let's go back to the other screen and not forget to go back. We already typed it in because we found it originally, but we didn't submit it. So there we go. The target system has an old version of sudo running. Find the relevant exploit and get root access to the target system. Find the flag.txt and submit the contents of it as the answer. Oh, it took that one. Oh, it's weird that it didn't want the R port. Oh, did it have that sending? No, it opened. It didn't have the L host. Why wouldn't it have taken that from the session? And where's okay, we're root. Where's the flag? Ah, there it is. That one took forever. Okay, so yeah, it didn't take the R host, but it took the L host. That's strange. Oh boy, what do we got now? Oh, we got so much. What is all this? Oh my goodness, there's this chapter is huge. This module is ridiculous. Find the existing exploit in MSF and use it to get a shell on the target. What is the username of your... that's the same as the other one. Retrieve the NTLM password hash for the HTTP student user. Submit the hash is the answer. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Alright, so we're back. We read through one of this is like example stuff, which makes this module seem longer than it is. But what we did is we read through, this is all stuff when you're inside of Meterpreter itself. So after you create your session from MSF console, find the exploit and actually get in and get a shell inside whatever the machine is that you're targeting. This tells you what to do after that. So you have a command section. Once you get in, just do regular help. It'll give you a list of all the commands that you can do while inside. It talks about Meterpreter wanting to be stealthy, powerful, and extensible. Stealthy obviously meaning not detected. Powerful obviously meaning powerful, and extensible. It says here Meterpreter's features can constantly be augmented at runtime and loaded over the network. We talked earlier about scanning the target with an mmap inside of MSF console using the database. Then it'll list out all the information here. If you type in hosts or if you type in services, you can see information about the host, and you can see what services are open on that host itself. When searching for your exploit, from your mmap scan, you can find what services are on there that are vulnerable, or what services are there in general. Like if there's a server, like in this instance, you can search Microsoft IIS, and it'll actually pull exploits within MSF console for that specifically. This module here, and you can utilize this for the IIS vulnerability on the mmap scan. Obviously type in all your information, your L port, your L host, your R host, whatever it's requiring of you. My nose is getting stuffy again, so I'm trying to go quick through this. This was pretty cool. As simple as this was, I ran into this issue last time trying to get out of the session so I could run a exploit against it. You type in background, I think you can do, or BG here, but also the issue I was having is I couldn't figure out how to get back into the session. So if you run the command, I think it's session-I and then the ID, the number of the session, you can interact, like go back into the session itself. I don't know if they go over that in here, but I had to Google that and find it, and I'm glad I did because I was kind of beating my head against the wall there. So once you actually get into the system itself, in the one instance, I ran through the questions before I started recording this just so I kind of knew where to go, what to do. You get into the folder itself and you can dump hashes from it utilizing, oh, there's your get UID, oh right here, utilizing this hash dump command. It'll dump whatever hashes it has within the folder that you're in. So I was in a users folder, and I guess it dumped all the hashes for those users. It says here interpreter functionalities, extracting hashes, impersonate any process we want, and others, which is pretty cool. So once you type in hash dump, you go and you type in also this LSA dump SAM command, and it dumps all sorts of information here. I don't quite specifically know what this exactly is, so I'll have to go back and look into that. But yeah, now we get down here to the questions, and welcome back. Loved. I just found out about Cowsay the other day. So find the existing exploit in MSF and use it to get a shell on the target. What is the username of the user you obtained a shell with? So this is kind of similar to the last question on the page before this, so this shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so what do we got? 5000 HTTP, FortiWater. Let's see if that works. I don't remember if that one required. Oh, nope, we got it. All right, so now this one, find an existing exploit and using a shell, get UID. And there we are. That should be our username. Let's check. All right, retrieve the NTLM password hash for the HTTP student user. Submit the hash as the answer. No, I don't remember. Was this where the HTTP student user? I just did this to like run through it a little bit ago, and I already forgot. So I guess that gives it like an authentic feel. So maybe I'll go to the right screen this time. I set the R host. I set the R port, I set the L host to the right things and got in. Do this over again. We did the get UID obviously from before, so now we need to get to, I couldn't remember if I was on the right screen or not. Like I couldn't remember if I had to use this exploit or if it was a different one I had to do. But now let's go to CD. No, users. All right, hash dump, and then LSA underscore dump Sam. LSA dump Sam command requires keyway extension. Okay. All right, retrieve the NTLM password hash for HTTP student users. Submit the hash as the answer. HTTP student is right here, and here's the hash NTLM. And we got it. All right, mark is complete and next. We gotta be getting close. This is just so much. This module is huge. Okay, so we got through the last four. They were just informational. This module was pretty difficult, not in the module question sense, but in the information sense. There was a lot to read through, and I will be 100% honest, a lot of it I did not read, just because there was so much. If it's something that you want to go through yourself and look through, it's listed here on the screen, using the Metasploit framework. It was just a ton, and maybe someday I will go back and look more into it and learn more about it. But right now, that's the best I can do. But like I said, this isn't a tutorial. It's more so for documenting my path. So in the next one, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. A lot of them look good. I mean, I've got a whole bunch to get through, but I don't know if I want to take a break and do a more one I'm a little, not that I'm not interested in them, but one that I have a little more interest in. I just got, which one did I just get? I just got one yesterday. Maybe it was the web fuzzing one. I can't remember. Either web fuzzing. I want to do. There's a bash scripting one that looks fun. Bash. Just pull it up. Yeah, bash scripting. I might do that one. I want to try to find ones though that stick more in the pen testing path. But like I said, I might veer off and do something not that next time. So we'll see. But if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.